What's up, everybody?
What's happening, fam?
You already know who you tuned into. This is Beauty and the Bearded.
Yeah.
And this is your girl, Shelly Badass.
And this your boy, Beard Samson.
And today, we are coming to you to talk about letting go of the past.
That's right. Did that shit.
Mm-hmm. And I know you're wondering, what do you mean by let go of the past? So, if you've ever been in a relationship or you've had a friendship where the mention of this person's name really irritates you, you got to learn to let that go. Because you're the one who's harboring all that anger and energy against this person, and this person probably don't care nothing about you.
That's right. They gonna live their life and move on without your ass, and they ain't thinking a second thought about what the fuck you doing. That's just the way shit go. A lot of people walk around here with chips on their fucking shoulder about shit that happened a long time ago, and that person just happy living their motherfucking life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether they did you wrong or whether they didn't do you wrong, or the situation ended up bad, whatever it was, they moved the fuck on.
Right. And you gotta let it go.
That's right. So you should too.
Yep. So, another thing is that a lot of times people are in friendships or relationships.
That's right.
And you still have to deal with this person.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta find a way to have a common ground so you're not irritated around this person.
That's right.
So there's been times where people have had fallen out with me. I don't
Right.
fall out with anyone. I'm great. I'm just kidding. But anyways, the friendship didn't work out how it was supposed to, but
Right.
I know how to continue to make things go professionally.
That's right.
And there's a lot of people who can't do that. They can't stand to be in the same room as an individual, and you got to learn to move forward because we're adults.
That's right. That means your ass great though.
Yeah.
See, when they can't stand to be in the room with you and you ain't really did shit to them, whatever, but you're just showing them that you can move on and you can be cordial in a professional manner and keep your tact in that environment, that means you're great.
Yeah.
You're doing something right. I'm telling you. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't pop.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. That's just the way the shit go.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Also, another situation is like when you have a child, fellas, you know how we do. When we have a child with someone and however that relationship however it ended, you know what I'm saying, the bad shit in that relationship, we have a tendency to hold on to all that bad shit and we remember it and we keep regurgitating that shit every time that name is brought up or when we think about that person. But you gotta realize that you got a child with that person. So it's like, even if you have to co-parent with that person, then, you know what I'm saying, you have to really let that go in order to move on
Right.
with shit. You know what I'm saying?
You got to do it for the sake of the kids.
That's right. You got to do it for the child. Like, you can't get the child be bad-mouthing the parent because of some shit that y'all went through or whatever that was in the past. Especially if you done moved on, though.
Right.
If you done moved on, let that shit go.
You bring up a good point, so I want to ask you, when someone has to co-parent, what can you do to help that relationship keep going? For the sake of the child, what would you do? What kind of tips would you give someone to make it only about the child?
Well, first off, you have to truly bury whatever happened between you and that person. That's number one. You have to face it. A lot of times we don't face the situation. It just keeps lingering. So anytime that person is brought up or anything like that, it's just a lingering situation that makes us mad whenever we think about it. So first off, face the situation. Right. You know what I'm saying? That fear is hard. It's gonna be hard than a motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you that from experience. It's hard, man, to let some shit go. But you have to let that shit go for the child, though. You really do.
Yeah.
So first of all, let the situation go. Truly. Truly let that shit go. And move on in your mind first. That's the first thing. So the second thing is focus on what's really at hand, what you should be focusing on. What's the most important thing about two people having a child, y'all done split up, who's in the middle?
Right.
Who's gonna benefit or hurt from a situation if you beefing with the parent, and that's the child. So focus on the child. Dead that situation in your mind and focus on your kid or kids.
That's true.
Yeah, that's how you move on.
I agree. So we got to learn to let go of the past, because if you're not willing to let go of the past, you're not going to be able to establish a great future.
That's right.
With the next person, because you're going to keep holding on to that.
Yeah.
And when you're in a relationship, your husband or your fiance, they're going to be like, why does this person tense you up like that? Why does that person like to get to you? And that's going to affect your relationship. So you got to learn how to let go of the past.
And then that don't look good on your new relationship, because if that the mentioning of someone's name, of somebody that you dealt with in the past, if that shit bothers you that bad, that's gonna make your significant other think like, well, damn.
Yeah.
Is he still fucking with this broad?
Right. Uh-huh.
Or he might be thinking like, damn, is she still fucking with dude?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me see your phone records.
Yeah.
Let me see your text messages.
Give me that password.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So you don't want that type of situation to actually come up, you know, whenever you're doing something.
Yeah.
So make sure you handle that before you move on.
I agree. Yeah. So that's our tips on learning to let go of the past. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
And we'll get with y'all next time.
All right, y'all.
All right. Yeah.